Hello there, and welcome to Thursday. Bringing it in. Hi, Brad. Hi, Alex.
Hello.
Hi.
What are we bringing in?
Thursday.
Laundry. It's
We're bringing it
laundry's
in.
out on the line, right? Ooh.
Oh yeah. Well, listen.
I'm bringing in my Zoom level. That's what it is.
There you go. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Thursday. Hopefully, everybody can hear us and see us. Just you never know these days.
No.
Never know.
Sure don't.
Never tell.
I'm drinking my water.
Drinking your water out of what looks like a coffee mug.
Well, it's an old Zojirushi stainless steel insulated thermos. When I drink cold, we're here. We're going to play some games. We're going to play a game called Last of Us.
Mm-hmm.
Part 1.
Yes.
It's part 1.
Now, very important.
Now it's called that.
Now it's called that. You may have heard. It's been this is the best version, self-proclaimed best version there is. PS5 version.
Yes. Correct.
Brad's going to play it.
On all counts.
It's the worst of times. It's the worst of times.
It's the blurst of times.
It is The Last of Us, a game known for its mirth and joy.
Merriment.
Just Joel clowning out there. Ellie that just cannot stop laughing. So we're gonna start with that. We're gonna then go over to Immortality.
Yes.
Which heads up if you are
Let me preface this one.
Yeah.
So we're going to show a little of Immortality. I'm going to do my best to show you some scenes that I do not think are going to do anything to really unwind the threads of what's going on there. More of just kind of an overview of what's going on there. And I will try to avoid any major spoilers wherever I can. But because of the nature of this game, there's a chance you will see something that might count as a spoiler to you. So if you just want to check out during that middle section,
sure.
No harm, no foul.
And then when we're done with that, if we have any time, we might launch into some other stuff, maybe some Ninja Turtles. But we'll see where we're at on time. But for now, let's get into a little game I like to call The Last of Us Part 2. Part 2.
There's the live feed.
Wow. Okay.
All right. Shall we?
Shall
we?
Should
I just play this game?
Are you
play
okay?
The game.
I want to see what happens when you start. Yeah.
Let's play this game.
Oh, look at this. Set up this clip you brought for us, Brad.
Oh, yeah. This is the Boston I know.
Shit is fucked. Yeah, you live there. This is pretty much it, right? Tanks in the street.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, this is pretty much what Harvard Square looks like all the time.
Part 1. Sorry, not part 2. Did I say part 2?
Yeah, you said part 2. I understand why you would do that, though. Part 2 wasn't that long ago.
Part Last of Us.
Oh, it was not.
We're playing The Last of Us.
Yeah. So this is the middle of that Boston sequence, which is the last thing you do kind of before they really kind of let you into the rest of the game.
Yeah, before you start your kind of cross-country trek. I've got this on hard. I'm just going to throw that out there right now. In case I fail in any way, that's definitely the reason.
Okay, got it.
Why would you do this to yourself?
Just going to absolve myself of any responsibility now.
You are also playing, obviously, on the PS5, I assume, on performance mode?
Oh, boy. Yes. Hang on. It's not a good time for... Go on.
Yeah. Do what you got to do.
Just going to beat this guy to death with a brick.
Yeah.
Right.
As one does.
Joel's got to do.
Oh, man. Test doing work here. Oh, boy.
I got the cover.
I played this on hard my first time through 9 years ago and really enjoyed it that way. In fact, I kind of didn't enjoy it on normal, and then I bumped it up, and I was like, oh, now it's like a really tense, like, resource scrounging survival thing. And as a result, I never shoot my gun.
Got it.
Because bullets are hard to come by. But
a lot of bricks.
they are. For the sake of this. Whoa! Oh, I can't see.
You're blinded by the light.
Wait, bandage.
Oh, that's a flanking maneuver.
Wow.
Man.
That's...
Boy, right out of the gate.
And that's
the
end of part 1. That's
That's right.
That's how the journey ends. Amazing they made a sequel out of that.
Boy.
Imagine. Here, I'll just do the graphics rigmarole now instead of there.
Rigmarole.
I think I don't have some options available because of the kind of display I'm on. In fact, I know that's the case. Like, for example, You can unlock the frame rate if you've got the RR on your set, which is awesome that they do that. But of course, I can't because I'm not running that here. There may be a performance plus mode as well. I'm not 100% sure about that. I saw some mention of that, but I don't have that here. So either that got cut from the game or it's just not enabled here.
Okay.
Anyway, performance all the way.
No HDR settings here because obviously that's
yeah, you're not using it.
What's in the DualSense menu? I didn't actually go in there, but I'm just seeing it now.
That's time. Was that just an option?
Was it?
I think it was.
Options. Yeah.
Adaptive triggers.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh, resistance.
Okay.
Oh wow, they give you straight up sliders. I think because you can also set the stuff at the system level. But I think
that is
just kind of it's like a high, medium, low. I think in the system settings for this stuff. So this is a lot more.
This was a thing I saw a lot of people touting, which I do think is a really nice improvement, is that they added a ton of accessibility stuff here.
Speech to vibrations. That's neat. What is that? What is that? Can you turn that on and see if just
spoken dialogue is
that?
also played through the wireless controller as vibrations. What?
Can you turn that on? And just tell us what that is like.
Turning that on.
Yeah.
Turning that on. That might be hard to track in the middle of combat, but we'll
sure. Maybe a cutscene.
We'll see. We'll see when we get to a cutscene. What else is in here? I don't have the original game accessible easily to see what's different here, but I'm guessing quite a bit of this stuff is new. A lot of HUD customization. Anyway, all right.
Some people in the chat concerned about the Immortality sex scenes and nude scenes. We're aware. We know. When we get up to Immortality, we'll also just kind of go over some of the content into that. I've already played a lot of it, seen the credits.
I played a good chunk of it.
Alex has played a decent amount. We're going to try and curate what we show on that to A, be a little sensitive to some of the stuff that's in it, and B, not get our channel banned.
Yes. Again, that's why we're doing it here and not doing a full playthrough, you know? Just going to give you a little look-see at it.
Oh, shit. I flew too close to the sun, I think. Damn it. This game's tough. It's especially hard to play on stream because most of the stealth indicators in this game are audio-based.
I got the cover.
Like, the main thing that signals, hey, you're going to get spotted is that sound. Which is, harder when you're like John. No.
It's got does it let you change difficulty on the fly, or is that a set it and your stuff thing?
Yeah, you can.
You can. Okay. And because is there achievement progress or trophy progress tied to difficulty?
I haven't looked. The trophies were disabled for most of the pre-release phase.
Okay.
So I haven't had a chance to look at. Bandage faster. Hey, I magically got all my health back. Oh boy.
I don't see him. You got visual? Negative.
So,
search the perimeter.
I know, scientifically know, that this game looks better. But I'm telling you, this is how I remember this game looking. And that's just maybe a testament to how good this game looked on the PS3. But in my mind, this is just
a late-gen game. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I played through a decent chunk of that PS4 re-release, and, you know, they did some work on that version, but it is, by and large, just that game visually polished a little bit more. This looks a little different.
Crap. All right, fine. Fine. Oh, thanks, Tess.
Nice work. Way to go, Dallas.
So in the story here, you're trying to get Ellie to the Fireflies at this point?
Yes.
Oh.
I mean, at this point, I'm still just trying to get her, I don't even know if it's out of Boston. Basically just to, like, the Capitol building.
Okay.
And then it's just, like, a quick drop-off. Like, yeah, I mean, I guess if you haven't played this game, like, you're just doing a job here. What you actually want is guns. And they're basically just like, hey, if you smuggle her to this other building, we'll give you a shitload of guns. And you're like, cool. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Before things have really gotten
Yes, you got any idea which
hot.
way?
Joel kind of runs on the outside, you know?
Mm-hmm. He's up to some nonsense.
I think this looks pretty damn good. I think this is like, I don't know.
See where this leads.
I wouldn't mind putting this kind of next to Part 2. Because I got a PS5 upgrade.
God, I always forget the PS5. That wasn't a PS5 launch game.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. It was close. It was like, what was that?
Just like
Less
this
than
was
60
to PS4.
Yeah, just like this was
Yes.
the PS3, yeah.
This looks right.
Yes.
Stay close.
At least we're out of the rain.
Ooh.
How's it look?
Think we can squeeze through here.
Gotta shake my flashlight.
Is that still in the game? Can you turn that off?
Yeah, I just did it. Yeah, I'm sure you can disable that. Other thing about playing this game on hard, you really have to like scrounge every corner,
Oh, yeah.
looking for parts and resources because they are pretty thin.
Charlie squad, report. Shit. I got more soldiers. Target's still on the loose, sir. Break off
The
pursuit
walls.
and report back to Sector 11. I don't think they see us.
So like Gene Hackman.
Get to your vehicle.
That did sound a little like Gene Hackman. You're not wrong.
My parents just rented and viewed Crimson Tide on my recommendation.
Okay, what'd they think?
Speaking of, I haven't really talked to them about it yet, but
Okay, haven't debriefed yet.
speaking of Crimson Tide,
It makes me happy I was able to introduce you to something that you really like that wasn't even on your like original
Are we
bucket
safe?
list.
No.
yeah, for sure.
They're still
Thank
around.
you.
But take a moment to catch your breath.
That's what I'm all about. Showing people
Joel,
things
see if
I
there's
think
anything
they
we
will
can
think
use
is
in
cool.
Sure thing, boss.
Sure,
Better than my old job, which was telling people about stuff that sucks.
Tess, up through here through this pipe.
Has Naughty
I think
Dog
we can
said
make it
what
through
their next project
Stay
is?
very close, Sally.
No.
Did they talk about that multiplayer game that's been rumored forever? They did, right? I think they.
If they did,
I
I
don't
don't
remember.
remember. Yeah, I don't remember.
But I don't think I think they've said they have stuff in the works, but like none of it is far enough along. This was like the only project they had that was like near release.
I'd swear, what was the thing that Druckmann talked at length?
Oh, well, there was a thing he was talking about, which was the TV series, which is coming soon. Yeah, there was some game thing in there.
See if I can
Okay.
get some dialogue stuff here.
Some people in the chat saying spinning factions into his own game. Artificial
Yeah,
says The Last of Us 2 remake, which I thought is very funny.
Yeah, the standalone factions game has been the
What was
rumor
the
for
plan?
ages, which,
Let's say that we deliver you to the
hang on, I
pod.
gotta feel this dialogue.
What
Yeah.
then?
Marlene, she said that they have their own little quarantine zone with doctors there still trying to find a cure.
Yeah, we've heard that before.
Huh.
Tess.
His dialogue has a lower rumble than hers does.
Interesting. Okay.
Whatever happened to me is the key to finding a vaccine.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, his
said.
feels like lower in the
I'm sure
controller.
she
It's
did.
weird.
Hey, fuck you, man. I didn't ask for this.
Me neither. Tess, what the hell are we doing here?
What if it's true?
I can't.
What if, Joel? I mean, we've come this far. Let's just finish it.
Do I need to remind you what is out there?
I get it.
Does anybody not know the story of Last of Us? And it's in our chat. I'm curious. Is
This way.
anybody watching this and be like,
If we cut
so what's the
through
setup
downtown, we can
here?
hit the Capitol building by sunrise.
Okay,
I mean, I
there's
feel
one
like-
person says me. All right.
I feel like there's plenty of people that haven't played this game, but I feel like if you pay attention to video games, you've probably absorbed at least the basic log line of the plot by osmosis.
So
Zombie Outbreak. This is like 20 years after the world went to shit.
Joel's daughter was killed at the kind of outset of the outbreak. He's kind of abandoned the world. Ellie is supposedly part of some possible cure, they think,
Holy
or
moly.
vaccine.
Yeah, that has not been revealed at
I
this
guess
point.
this is what these buildings look
Didn't
like.
she
up
just say
close.
she's to deliver her as part of some
So
vaccine?
damn tall.
They mentioned the vaccine, so at this point they just found out that she's
Found the
immune.
hell out of the surrounding
Claims to be
areas
immune,
quarantine
like right
zones,
before we started.
hoping to kill as
Yeah, I
much
think she
of the
just
infected
mentioned
as
something.
possible.
So that's
But
That's kind of the setup here.
But they never got, like, Marlene and Ellie have never told them jack about like what the deal is.
It's very Children of Men by way of zombie fiction.
What the hell was
Yeah.
that?
Tess, you hear that?
Yeah. Sounded pretty far away, though.
Are we safe?
For now. Come on.
I feel like Last of Us is right up there now with like Final Fantasy VII. Just even if you're around video games, you kind of know the strong beats of the game.
Sure.
Like what happens at the end, what the setup is.
Over here.
People asking what is the etiquette for spoiling things for a 10-year-old game. There is none.
You know, listen, if you don't have to, I
Hey,
wouldn't.
Tess?
Is my take on it. No reason to go out of your way to do
Like,
it.
I'm not going to just stand here and tell you the ending of this video game, but, you know, I think at a certain point there has to be a cutoff of, like, look, just let people freely talk about things.
Sure, but but like this game just came out, so maybe there are 5 people out there who would like to.
Well, this version of this game.
This version of this game.
Again, we are talking about nearly a decade here.
But if you're wondering what happens to Aerith, I won't.
She's fine.
Apart. Body's pretty fresh.
Is that bad?
Yeah, it might be. Let's not stick around.
Oh no, having one of those moments. Which way is the story way?
In which way is the scrap way?
I'm guessing up the stairs is the story way. Scrap.
What if they changed the ending of this? What if they
What
just
if
were
they
like?
changed the ending?
It's the musical ending.
What if they? What if they were just like? You know what? We just decided to change it up.
Looks like these guys died waiting for backup.
And they had time to write about it.
Mm-hmm. You were waiting a long time.
Waiting for backup.
Oh. See, that time the stairs were not the story way.
God damn it. Clicker.
Jeez. What's wrong with his face?
That's what years of infection will do to you.
So what, are they blind?
Sort of. They see using sound.
Like bats?
Like bats. If you hear one click, you know how to hide. That's how they spot you.
I appreciate that level of in-game
Oh, it feels like
explanation
it's about
for
to
your
fall
character, your adversary, right? Like, it's not too explicit. It feels like it was a natural way to deliver that information.
Yes.
For Joel, who is now
Watch your
going to
head.
have to hide when he hears them clicking.
Yeah,
I
they're
also-
good at that.
I also really did enjoy the clicker designs in these games. Like, I always thought the monster designs were pretty damn good.
Yeah, it's very creepy. This is like, ooh.
Really cool. Everything is.
Water running downhill is pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, their zombie designs are at least different, right? Like this god-awful looking, like a lichen or whatever growing out of the zombies' faces and stuff like that.
Give me a hand with this.
Do it. Do it.
Go!
No good. No good.
Ooh!
So is it, in this world, is it only spores, or is it,
You
can you
alright?
get blood infected too? Is it like traditional
get-
zombie
yeah.
bite?
Let's search for
Yeah, she's got a
supplies.
bite on her arm.
Oh, right, yes.
That's the
Forgot.
whole reason that everybody's like, oh my god, because she got bit like 3 weeks ago and has not turned.
Okay. And then, but it's also spores, right?
Yes.
It's also airborne.
They're kind of mixing and matching some science stuff here to
Sure.
make all this work, but, you know, whatever. It's good creature design.
Well, it is. I agree. It is definitely, and it is some different stuff. But sometimes I feel like this game also falls into the like the fast ones, the super big slow ones that explode into
Oh, yeah.
spores.
Yeah.
Here. patch
Yeah, I mean, I
yourself
think
up.
they.
Appreciate it.
Hang on. Let me craft. I think they even have their own bloater, right?
Yes.
They even have their own exploding
Is it in this
zombie.
one or in 2? It's in one of them.
I can't remember if they're also in here. They're definitely in 2.
Some of the set stuff in 2 I really, really enjoyed. I thought that game was just too long.
Game's a little long.
Let's get the hell out of here.
It makes its point, and then continues making its point.
And then it kind of loses the thread on its point.
Yeah.
I mean, I really enjoyed aspects of it. I'd say that I think 2 is way more ambitious. This game is probably more successful at what it's trying to do.
Oh boy.
I wonder if this is
Yeah.
new.
2, I think, had some good character stuff in it, but it just leaned too far into the aspects of the game that I was not looking forward to getting
Up
back
there.
into.
Look.
Yeah, I mean, there was something almost Metal Gear-esque about 2 casting you as what was ostensibly the villain, and then having an entire
See
other
if there's a
game
way through.
of that.
Jeez. It might as well be 2 games.
That's what I mean. Is like when I switched to Abby and I realized I was going to play as her, I was like, "Oh, this is interesting. I bet this is like an hour-long epilogue or
clear.
something."
Come on, Ellie.
And then it just goes and goes and goes.
Boy, does it.
Come on.
Oh, she has to go first.
Is 2 the one where you wind up in the basement of the hospital at some point where one of the
Yes.
first okay,
One
I
of the
like
best parts of that game. Oh, that was so creepy.
Okay. Come on, big guy. Give
Not
me a
just
hand.
creepy aesthetically, but like
go.
conceptually the idea that some of those zombies had just been stuck down there for like 30 years at that
Right.
point was like ugh.
Right, because it's 20 years at this point, right? When they come fades
Yeah.
in.
I did always really like the set design of this section of Boston where you're in this skyscraper and it's just kind of leaning over. You're in the slanty shanty. Just like my old apartment in Boston.
That's right. Just roll marbles down the floor.
We are not going to get any deeper into spoilers for 2. We have nothing else to say on that front. Don't worry, Chad.
My dog's
That's
barking.
our way out. Over the scaffolding.
Do clickers give you any resources if you kill them, or is it
I don't think typically.
so you're just as well off avoiding them as kicking them out?
Yeah. I don't like leaving loose ends though.
I hear
No, I
you.
understand that.
Oh no. Oh, I have a problem.
Hit him with a brick.
Throw the brick. Oh boy.
Oh, Thomas gonna pop his head up. I didn't realize I needed a shiv to stealth kill these things yet. Or so far. Did they change that in 2?
Two. She had a knife, but I don't know if you had to repair it.
Oh,
This
maybe
one-
that's what it is.
She had that pocket knife, right?
Yes, maybe that's what it is. They give you a knife in 2, so you can just freely
Yeah.
stealth kill those things.
Unlimited knives.
I totally forgot that, yes, in this you actually are expending resources to do stealth kills for a long
Yeah.
time. Hang on. Is this not where I just came from?
Somebody asking in chat about. They said they're getting it in a little framey. This is running pretty smoothly here, so it might be Twitch coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can't handle this fidelity.
I've noticed the
Yeah,
performance
definitely.
is pretty good.
Yeah, what I'm sending you is definitely a good solid 60. It does in the VMix call, or the VMix that I'm looking at, it does look like it's dropping frames.
Yeah, it's even here it looks still
think
looks
that's
pretty
it.
good. But when I played it,
Ellie,
yeah,
you
it's
okay?
been pretty smooth.
Other than shooting my pants, I'm fine.
That's good.
The stairwell's blocked. Should we go back up?
I mean, that's good information to know. This is like a remake. I think it runs well so far. What I've seen, I haven't gotten to the outside areas, so I don't know what happens in the.
All right. Come
you
on.
know, more expansive areas.
Now clamber. Clamber, you motherfucker.
This is crazy. Just
This is
don't
crazy.
look
This
down.
is crazy. This is
Are you
crazy.
serious? Terminal platforms, express rolling lanes. What could possibly go wrong? Come on, Ellie. Yeah.
Oh, yep. There's the big gold dome building. I see it.
Just hold it down.
You're okay. We got our way through.
That's right. Shoot it. Get an achievement. Ding. You're gonna regret wasting that bullet shooting.
It's the last one.
Probably. Ooh.
Random wood.
Couldn't find that anywhere else in this entire space.
I'll go check it out. Stay with the girl.
Do you need filters in this game for your mask,
I don't remember.
or are those like you're good plot wise?
Lot mask.
Remember. Oh boy.
We got guys.
Okay, these guys, I'm pretty sure you can stealth kill for free. Yes,
Sure?
that's what it is. I remember now. Okay.
Oh,
yes.
the humans.
Yeah, the ones that are recently turned are still free stealth kills. It's the full-on clickers are not.
Gotcha.
I had forgotten about that. On the flip side, they can see you. See,
still have
stuff like
eyes.
this foliage, like I think this. The more I look at this, the better I think it looks. I guess I would say.
Like the more
I
of it
think
you
it's-
see.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like in line with what you would expect on the PS5 currently, more or less. Like they did a good solid pass on it. Oh boy. Oh my God.
They woke up.
Time to book.
I'll do it.
Whoa! Oh boy.
You need
man,
that.
that
You need
won't do it.
You need that.
You need that neck to live.
I do.
Just put him to sleep. Sleepy time.
Oh, this is a bad angle.
Man, that clicker just hearing right at you. Are The Last of Us and Destiny now in the same universe?
How do you mean?
Oh, they're in a Sony now, right? So
Oh
just
yeah.
gonna assume they're you get your Joel skin. Yeah, maybe it would be the other way around. Get some Destiny armor. I don't want to wear a Joel skin.
Barf.
I had to have the zombie talk with my son the other day about just different types
Becoming
of
a zombie's not cool.
Well, just you know, you got some zombies that you know, you got. I think mostly right. It's you got to take them out in the brain. You got to get rid of the brain.
Generally, yes.
That's like kind of your traditional zombie. But some zombies, they keep it coming. Some zombies, you know, all different fast zombies, slow zombies.
Wet zombies, dry zombies.
They're just all different types of zombies.
Oh, good.
Stop doing that.
I think he can hear you, Ray.
Whoa! Oh my God!
That thing came up
Okay,
on
I didn't
you,
realize it was a one-hit kill.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to call it there on The Last of Us? What do you think?
Yeah, we can
We
switch
can move
over.
along.
I don't know that I really want to do that whole sequence yet again.
Just sprint
Like,
through
drop
it.
the difficulty
See how-
and just go.
See how much you can sprint through. Yeah, put it on easy and see how
Alright.
far you There you go. Here you go. Here you
Sprinting,
go.
baby.
There you go. Speed
Oh.
run tactics. You got this. You got this. Uh-huh. Now dump.
Oh God!
Uh-huh. You got it. You got it. You got it.
No!
You got
You
it.
don't got it.
Swing
You don't got it.
Oh man, they just get you.
I'd
They
have
got
time.
you.
I don't have time to switch guns. God, do the runners even were those seriously taking 2 revolver
It seemed
shots
like 1 or 2 shots, yeah.
each? Man, that's harsh.
It's Clicker's head is protected by hardened fungus. Hardened fungus.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. Do you want to check the vmix output real quick before we move on? It looks like it's maybe dropping it to 30 from what I'm seeing.
Let's see. It's hard to tell here.
What's
Looks-
my hand look like in the...
It's looking okay here. It's got a solid 60 on my end. I mean, your return will be 30. Your return. will
Oh,
not be
right.
That's
I
probably what
forgot
it
it
is.
dropped.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it is. I totally forgot it drops those because I almost never look at the vmix call anymore.
Yeah.
All about that parsec life now.
That's right. You're living that parsec life. Speaking of which, I'm gonna
Sure.
switch this.
Okay.
feed
Actually, hang on.
over
Let me
to
thin. Let me
parsec.
thin like 2. Or let me thin a couple of these, and then
I'll get you ready
see
on
if I can do my
parsec
last
here.
stand. Oh no! Oh, you're screwing up my plan. Oh man. Ah! Doing
Question,
it. Oh, I
question
got
from
swap
the.
guns.
Oh gosh. Oh no. Question from the chat: does Vinny still think Joel is a selfish asshole? Vinny thinks Joel makes really bad decisions.
There you go.
Oh yeah, Joel from the get-go, having played through both games now and going back and seeing the beginning of this,
Come on down.
reminds me that like, oh yeah, Joel doesn't give a shit. Like he just like he is like full on hard man making hard decisions kind of trope.
Yeah,
No.
I think.
And they're not all good decisions.
They're not good.
And no, and yes, they are not. They're largely self-serving. Let's say. I would say where Joel's priorities overlap with like genuinely helping people is often a coincidence,
That's a good way to put it.
or you know what I mean. It's never.
Yeah.
It's not always the primary, or even like I don't know. Even
Joel,
when he is-
Joel wants to make sure his needs are met.
Yeah, even when he is like doggedly trying to protect someone, like there's some element of self-interest there
Yeah.
in one way or another. Anyway, whatever. We said it on the podcast. If you have played this entire game and don't feel the need to play
This'll
again,
work.
like you probably are good waiting for a sale or for this to show up on the PS Plus library.
Yeah, or like
Whatever.
a double pack of something sometime. Like, yeah.
If you have not ever played this game, though, it's super worth playing.
And this does have. Can you jump into the expand? Not the expand. What are they? Standalone.
Oh crap! Yeah.
from
What
the
if,
top
how
here?
about shit? I'm sorry. I should have done that instead of playing that stealth sequence 3 times. Why don't we
It's
just
great-
like jump in here
You
real
left
fast
behind.
and let's just fire this up and see. I haven't played that since it came out.
This is a
But
good
yes,
bit of
this is-
business.
This is a full $70 release.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Which, like, in terms of content, because I mean, Left Behind is not insubstantial. It's a very good piece
No,
of
it's not.
DLC, and the full game is quite long and very good.
What?
Like,
Fireflies?
Get down.
ooh.
So this might, I don't remember if the beginning of this has
Oh
any
yeah, why don't I
spoilers.
skip? Why
You
don't
know
I
what?
just skip the intro
Skip
to
the
this, just in
cinematic,
case?
yeah.
Yes.
There we go.
Because the actual
We're doing
content
our
of
best
Left
here.
Behind the actual content is a prequel to the main game.
Yeah.
But I think that sequence there probably would have given some stuff away. But this part is
Right.
Totally got this.
like the stuff you play in this is all set
All right.
before any of that.
Where do I go?
Here's a little bit more of a brightly lit area to take a look at.
And snowy.
Snowy.
Yeah, not to keep repeating the point over and over, but it really just comes down to have you played these or not? Because I think like do the games hold up? Yes. Like, did they do a good job on this makeover? I think so. It's just purely a question of, is this valuable to you or not?
In our Discord chat, they're confirming a PC version in the works. So want that?
Yeah, have they actually said that? Have they literally explicitly finally said?
I feel like
it's,
they
it's
have.
It's definitely going to happen, and like one of their artists like kind of tweeted it out very informally a couple months ago, and then I'm not sure if he had to take that tweet down or not. But like someone from there flat out said it on Twitter at one point, but I don't know if they've ever like press released it or not.
So
Also, they're
that's a
putting
big
everything
thing.
out on PC now.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you have it on PS3, PS4, or PS5.
Yeah. Yes, like that's a whole people that mostly just play PC games. That's a whole audience of people who have not played these. Especially if 2 comes out at the same time as 1 on the PC.
Pharmacy.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of a lot of game.
I wonder how this would play with mouse aiming. You know, like being
Yeah.
able to be that accurate for headshots and stuff. I guess you could put a mouse on the PS5 and use it. I don't know if it supports it.
This is just reminding me there is a lot of great stuff in this DLC.
Yes, it's good.
It's
Like
very
a lot
good.
of good, a lot of good fun shopping mall stuff later on, like in a lighthearted way, like some good breaking the tension type stuff. Anyway, that's what this thing is.
Yeah.
All right.
$70. There's a super fancy version that's more money on the PS5 now.
Anything? Anything?
All right,
All right, I'm going to start
shall
sending to
we-
you.
All
Yeah,
right.
all right.
So before we get into Immortality, we're going to show the whatchamacallit, the content warning screen, but there's a lot of stuff in this game.
Yeah.
So
So I'll say again, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you some scenes that I've already watched, and I will show you what the highlight mechanic is, because I'm at least in the early stuff that I'm going to show, I know that it's not going to show anything crazy spoilery. If you want to stay completely pure on this game, don't watch this segment. I'm just telling you right now. But I'm going to do my best. I couldn't start a new game because it would overwrite my save, and I don't want to do all that stuff again.
Right.
So press the button here.
Yeah.
Here is the content warning.
So I've played through a lot of this game. I've seen the credits. I would say all of this stuff is not to be glossed over if you're concerned about it. This is all in there.
They're serious.
Yeah, they're serious about this stuff. So there's definitely going to be nudity. There's going to be, I mean, if you're playing it, we're going to probably try to avoid some of that stuff. There's just going to be hardcore sexing happening.
Yeah, and I'm not going to show, I might show one scene that is technically a sex scene, but there is no nudity in. It's, it's a thing they are filming for one of the movies in this movie, or a game.
Yeah.
But yes, so that is the content warning. There you go. I mean, look, again, one of these movies is basically like Ken Russell's The Devils. So, like, yes, it is a horny nun thing. And again, I it's possible you might be able to glean some spoilers from some of the frames that you see in the video section, but this is like those other Sam Barlow games. It is a jigsaw puzzle of video clips, and you are trying to piece together the mystery of this actress and the 3 films she made, none of which ever actually came out, and you are trying to find out what happened there.
Yes.
Yeah, it's probably, I think it's the way you discover the story in this is non-linear enough that just seeing a few disjointed clips from this isn't really going to give much away.
Yeah.
There are certain
So-
mechanics which could, but I think you're gonna try and work around some of that stuff.
I am, yes. And look, if there's any accidental nudity in these highlights, like I'm doing my best here. But I'm going to start here with, this is basically the first clip they kind of like shunt you toward. And there's like a rewind mechanic, which you do by just spinning the stick, and that will start the clip from the beginning.
Or you can click in, which will automatically bring it back.
Fitty, do you mind changing the monitor on per sec?
You must be very excited.
I am excited.
Now, you look very young in person.
People always say that.
You look, what, 15, 16?
Maybe.
Can we
I'm
tell
cranking the
people
volume up a
how
little
old
bit
you
on my end.
actually are?
Yes, I'm 20.
That
There
is
it is.
correct.
Let me know if it's
Now,
too loud or
from
too
the
quiet.
movie that you just
I think we're good
finished
here.
shooting, It is finished, right?
Yeah, it's finished.
Yeah. If you don't know, it's a bit of a fairy tale. So Arthur Fisher, the great director, who you probably know from his movies such as Marion.
This guy's doing an
and,
okay
The
Johnny
Man Who
Carson, I gotta
Dreamed,
say.
was casting
Not
for
bad.
his new movie, Ambrosio. And so instead of casting a recognizable face, he wanted to find some fresh talent. So he put the word out and saw, how many was it? 10,000?
I think it was over 20,000.
20,000. He saw 20,000 girls, and long story short, he picked you.
Yes.
And you'd never acted before.
Not on the screen. I had done modeling and I liked theater.
That is amazing. I believe we have a short clip here. Do you want to tell us what we're about to see?
Yes, so I play Matilda, and, well, I don't want to spoil things too much. She's a young woman who sneaks into a
Probably corrected
monastery
in chat asking, is that a
disguising
wig?
herself as
There's a
monk.
lot of wigs in
And
this
then
game.
there's a lot of drama and magic and intrigue.
Okay. Marissa Marcel as Matilda, a woman disguised as a young monk. Here we go.
Again, there might be spoilers and stuff in here. I'm gonna say
The same magic that powers this lens can also grant you what you wish.
How so?
You remember the night that I was to die? When we
This
took
scene
the
does not
secular
have spoilers in
sepulchre?
it.
no.
That night, I
It does
performed
have some
Or
great,
does it?
does have some great VHS effects though.
Yes, it does. Like the archival
Yeah.
stuff that is not like the straight up film footage, like has some very good VHS quality to it.
Which is
Well,
great
Mr.
because
Fisher
this
was
is
quite the
VHS
teacher.
Now I
filtered
heard he can
on
be
top
quite
of like
demanding.
60s film stock.
Well, you know, he
filters.
has an idea
Yeah, like
of the
I
future in
love
his
that
head,
the late
and,
night show was just
nothing is
taped
going
on
to come
somebody's
between him and
VCR.
that, not even the actors.
And this is Mr. Fisher's first film with nudity, correct?
Yes, well, you know, he felt that a modern motion picture should reflect the times.
And you filmed this in Europe.
Correct.
They go for that in Europe, the nudity.
Yes, our producer said, we are born naked, and if we are lucky,
There's
we
a
die
lot of
naked,
nudity.
so why not
I have
shoot
to
a movie?
emphasize this again. There's a lot of nudity.
Clothes on.
Really is.
There's a lot of nudity. There's a lot
and
of
the
like,
picture's out soon?
you know,
I hope so.
Yeah. And now, you're not in New York
Different
only to
types
talk
of
about
sexual
Ambrosio,
encounters,
but,
let's say.
You're filming another picture.
That's right, yes, with John
Oh, don't worry,
Jurek, who
Brom
was the
Toggins. We'll
director
get to the
of photography on
blasphemy soon
Ambrosio.
enough.
We're writing it together.
That is amazing. You are smarter than you look. I'm kidding. So what is
What an
this
asshole.
movie?
So it's called Minsky, and it's about
'Cause
an
you look
artist
dumb.
who was killed, and
Yeah.
the suspect.
You
the
seem
number
dumb
one
as shit,
suspect,
is what he's
his
saying.
niece. That's the part I play, and there is a detective investigating, and he falls for her.
Well, I can't blame him.
So I was listening to the John
He
Landau
has a
episode of
cop
Behind the
mindset,
Bastards
and
recently,
it's really
and
about the clash between the artists, how
Robert
they
mentioned
live,
that
and-
Johnny
and
Carson
his
was a
cop
gigantic piece of
mindset,
shit and did not
conservative
elaborate.
Mindset, I guess
Huh.
he is.
And now I'm really
surprised
curious
how
what he was
messy the
talking
lives of
about.
artists
I feel like I
are.
haven't heard that
True,
before,
true.
but
We've had
Yeah,
some
I had not
shows.
either. I mean, I
Mr.
don't
Warhol, have
think
you
he
met
was like
Mr.
an
Warhol?
amazing
yes,
person
yes, we've
necessarily,
met.
but I had
Yes,
never
we had him on the
heard
show and he
that.
hardly spoke. Such a towering figure.
I feel like I need to follow
Such
up.
a small, quiet man in person, you know, but his...
yeah, let me be clear. I have
superstars,
nothing
though, that's what he
against
calls them,
explicit nudity and
superstars.
stuff
They are quite,
whatsoever. I love
playful.
like
Yes,
both
We'd like to put some
high
of them in our
art
movie.
versions and the
Which makes me
trashy
finish
fucking
up,
cinema version of it. It's just that, you
And,
know,
you
people
like New
can be
York?
sensitive about that sort
yes,
of thing.
I love it. The people are so interesting.
well, so like I said, it's
All right, well,
the
we've
some of
gotta
the
take a
sexual
short break.
encounters
Would you
can
mind reading
be
this out?
Yeah.
for us?
non-consensual. There are some.
Mhm.
There
Yeah.
are some
Now,
uncomfortable
marvelous
moments.
magic will turn the next
I've
60
only seen
seconds into a
consensual stuff,
commercial.
but I kind of
Magic
figured based on how you said this, it's kind of dark that there's probably some.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's
Less
stuff. There's
kind
stuff,
stuff.
in the scripts of the movie that are, and you're watching the filming of the movie.
So going into image mode here. Actually, I'm going to back out for a second here. I'm going to start from the beginning. Because there's a thing I'm not going to show here, but I'll show later. So when you go in, once you're in the clip, you can kind of fast forward and rewind however you want. And then when you freeze it, you can kind of highlight the screen and you see the little eyeball. That's where basically you can basically jump cut to another video that way.
Yeah,
So
they call it match cutting, but it's not always going to be frame for frame, obviously.
So this is Minsky. This is the second of the 3 films.
So since you clicked on Marissa, it's going to find another frame with Marissa's face on it, maybe smiling. I'm not sure exactly what the tags are on things.
Yeah, like sometimes you click on a thing and it's like very obvious, like, hey, you clicked on a candle. Oh, here's another shot with a candle in it. Sometimes you click on a thing and it's like, oh, this is not the thing I clicked on, but I can kind of see how the image might have been comparatively
We've been working a
done.
lot with artists in the New York scene. They have a lot of interesting ideas about how art is made, what art is.
And yes, you can use the D-pad to just kind of move around the screen. It will like highlight the next highlightable thing in a frame.
Can you match cut that tinfoil butt?
Let me see. Let's back her up. Hopefully, it might bring me to a real butt is the thing, but let's find out. Whoops, sorry.
Oh,
you went too far, Alex.
Yeah, I did. Sometimes the interface can be a little funky.
You can use the triggers as well if you want to. I found them sometimes a little easier to scrub.
Which is where a lot of the artists hang out in the story. My character Franny comes here sometimes.
Yeah, the wigs are kind of bad, but I think it's on purpose. I'm not far enough into the story to know with any certainty. Yes, I can highlight the butt. Are we going to risk it?
Let's do a butt, and then
are we risking butt?
Yeah, do butt.
Do it. Do it. It's the internet.
What the fuck? I wasn't expecting that.
Maybe that was tagged as shiny.
Oh, I've seen this one. This one's a mess.
Really?
Like a good mess or a bad mess?
Minsky's body is still warm. You look different.
Amateur hour on set.
You should rewind all the way. Rewind all the way.
Detective Goodman thinks
I think that is the beginning, or it's
that is the beginning, but it's just you get the the click.
I think there's a shot before this, unless I'm thinking of 2 different scenes.
I think you're thinking of 2 different scenes because this is where it starts.
I thought they do a retake on this.
It's possible they do.
Well, someone didn't waste too much time.
Yeah, they do.
Minsky's body is still warm.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's
from the top.
She was on the wrong side of him.
Ah, gotcha.
And I think that stuff is super funny in this. Like, I really appreciate those. You know, you're watching the heads and tails of a take.
Like the filmmaking aspect of it, like none of these are high budget productions, but like they kind of get the feel of that kind of stuff pretty right, I feel like.
Did you lose your virginity?
Detective Goodman thinks that Minsky's ex is in town. Olga Raknov?
And here's me thinking this is a social call.
They also do really good stuff with the music, where
I think so.
Art, art's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen Olga? I saw her at the
where
Minsky
when you're
show,
fast forwarding
she
or
was wearing
scrubbing,
some
it'll
special
bring
earrings,
the
Minsky originals.
gameplay music up to cover. There's a bed of gameplay music under the whole thing.
No offense,
I think there may have been boobs in that last shot, but it's okay. They had black paint on. That doesn't count.
They're painted.
That's art.
88.
That's art.
She's to the bar and eyeballs everyone coming in.
There's definitely some dude butt in here as well.
Oh, you're gonna like this.
I don't know if there's any dong. I bet there's probably some dong somewhere.
Ah, that line.
It's art.
88.
Can you confirm whether there is dong, Vinny?
I don't think I've seen dong. I've seen.
Okay, no one hangs dong.
I've seen selective framing to avoid dong. I've seen no dong.
Definitely a fair amount of dude butt.
I've not seen a lot of frontal nudity.
Okay. All right, I'm just gonna kind of move around here in some scenes that I know are not like
lower body frontal nudity. I've seen.
Yes.
I've seen a lot of boobs.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of butts.
Let me see. This. Yes. Let me think of one that's just
wondering,
like good.
You can't jump from boob to boob.
Yes, you can. Let me find one from the third. The third film is the one I have the least of so far, but.
In all seriousness, they do get very granular in the stuff you can click on. I mean, there's a ton of just like, oh, the coffee cup to coffee cup, or like candle, like you said.
Yeah. So this is the third movie. This is the one that takes place in the 90s. It appears to be about some kind of dual identity thing.
Have we really said, like, there's a mystery here you're trying to solve, kind of?
Yes. I mean, the premise is that, again, this woman made these 3 films. None of them ever came out, and you don't really understand what happened to her or the films at the beginning.
Maria? Hey,
yeah.
I just got to the studio.
What's that?
And so you're scrubbing through
I
to
need
kind
you
of
to
try
come
and
down
piece
here.
together the mystery of what happened.
Heather, that wasn't the deal.
I know it wasn't. I know.
What's going on?
They're asking me to
One of
swim.
the so it's funny on IMDb, the 3
I
films
didn't realize, Maria, I
that are
can't
in the
swim.
game are listed as separate
I never
credits
learned. I'm sorry, we didn't have
as
a pool
IMDb
in
credits.
Landlocked,
And like
Iowa.
one of the screenwriters that worked on this was the co-writer of Wild at Heart and Lost Highway with David Lynch.
Okay, I'm coming.
Oh, you mentioned that on the
I'm
podcast.
sorry.
Yes.
Forget it.
Mhm.
I'll be there in 40. You need to buy me some time.
How do I do that?
You're in your trailer?
Yeah.
Lock yourself in. Refuse to come out. Have a fit.
Fit?
You've seen me in action. Find something you don't like and blow it out of proportion.
But yeah, Sam Barlow
Like
had
what?
co-writers on each of like
Wait,
the
Maria,
film
like what?
pieces that they do.
So it's probably worth noting all the footage here is raw footage, so they obviously don't have the official VOs in, or there's no special effects. Or,
apples.
Yeah, like directors are yelling off screen, you know,
Yeah.
giving direction, that kind
Right.
of stuff.
They're not round enough.
Please?
Which is a good line.
We have the plate.
Cut.
click on an apple.
Mm-hmm. There's a couple different ways you can highlight stuff. What is this one? Is this like just the scene order?
Oh, sorry. So that are you on? Sorry, which?
So this is the one that is like the date order. Like
so, no. So that's you're in image mode versus. Oh, sorry, you're hitting right trigger. Yeah. So right.
Yeah.
Yes. I think there's the take order. So if you go to an actual movie, like Minsky or something, go to the actual takes of Minsky. Like hit the D-pad over or yeah. So you see the shot order where you're like shot 7. So you're in right now. I think you're in calendar order, which is the order they shot them in. And then if you switch it over, I think this is the
scene order. Yeah.
And that's I still am not sure what LB does in that that funnel. Like what you get from there.
I don't either really.
I thought maybe
there are aspects of the interface that I think are a little hinky. Like I just they're not really it's not the easiest thing to navigate. Here's a fun one. This is just her this is like the very first appearance of Marissa Marcel.
Yeah. But I think LB might be trying to separate each thing that's associated with a film into one.
Right, okay.
I think.
A new natural soap. Creamy lather, herbal goodness. For skin that never grows old.
And here's a fun trick. Yeah, obviously, like, you know, you can focus in on stuff like her face, like the soap. You can also focus in on the time code.
Go to a clip with
Bravo, take 2.
time code.
What?
Hand to the left a little.
Have you seen this one?
To the right.
I thought I had, but maybe not.
Plate is good.
Is it naked?
I have not seen it. I don't think so.
Send them back
Okay.
how many
I don't have
times?
this one.
4. They just couldn't
Really?
get them round
No.
enough. Oh, they think I'm a monster.
So I guess this would be the follow-up to the last scene that we watched from this movie.
Yeah.
Here's what you need to know about this town. Everyone is trying to take advantage of you. Everyone. And the moment you let your guard down, they'll walk all over you. So when I call out the stupid flowers or the kind of water they put in the fridge, it's my way of making sure they know they can't take advantage of me.
Wow.
You don't use your power, you lose it.
Yeah. Maria, I'm sorry. I made you miss your
In this
studio
movie, she's
time.
playing both parts.
Yeah, she's playing 2 characters that look alike. Like one is a double for the other.
The door.
Like, to be honest, there are probably some aspects of this story that you can probably glean from the title alone. I don't know anything about what is actually happening with the mystery, but I have some ideas. What's another good one? This is kind of an interesting one. I don't know. This is like a real, like, setting some stuff up scene here.
Rehearsal, scene 31, Olga's apartment.
I do like these rehearsal scenes.
Team of 2 detectives and Ruby are searching the place. Ruby points Goodman to a collection of photos on the wall.
Art appreciation time.
Collage of nude male body parts with Minsky's face on it, where the genitals should be a splash of red.
Does this work as confession?
It's art.
Also?
Holy shit.
Find a mask yet?
Still looking.
Wow.
I thought I told you to keep it right.
Don't worry about it.
This is a rehearsal one, right?
Station tomorrow. You got this, right?
I am ready to wake up from this dream.
Alright. When you walk out, let's figure that out.
Yeah, the script says I hold her hand, right?
Exactly.
Would I do that? Is it like a boyfriend, girlfriend? Is it like a parent dragging a naughty child out there?
Can I put my hand out for you to hold? I'm the provocateur.
I like
Again, this is the kind of stuff I dig, which is like them feeling out the scenes and figuring out the way to do it.
I'll see you at the station tomorrow. You got this, right?
I am ready to wake up from this dream.
I like it. Right, we want to amp up the coziness as much as we can. We're about to hit them with a Goodman apartment sequence. Right.
Bam. Try clicking on the other detective who is there. I think she's in a lot of interesting scenes that are so bad. Because a lot of the actors and actresses are in multiple movies.
Start from the beginning.
Scene 8A, take 2.
Settle down.
I think this is about as close as a gong as we're gonna get.
No plaster and some cloth fibers.
Someone made a mask of his face.
Before or after death?
Before.
They usually have a tube. We figure he let himself be cast, but the killer cut off the air supply. The penis was cut off post-mortem, though the condition of the corpus cavernosum and the amount of blood does suggest it was erect when this happened, so probably soon after death.
Jesus. When does a crime scene begin?
A crime scene begins at the point where the suspect changes intent into action.
And who had the intent?
Much in there about our muse?
Well, nothing incriminating. Some of it's in code, though.
Might just be doodles.
Always has his head in a book, missing what's right in front of his eyes.
I think he really thinks you didn't do it.
I think he wants to fuck her.
Yeah, the guy with the beard is an Ambrosio also.
Yeah.
Cut!
He's alive!
All right, here. I haven't shown much of Ambrosio yet. This is a good scene. I like this, and it is not naked. So,
Does this one have a bird in it?
no, this one's dark, but it's like this is kind of the tone of what this movie is, apart from the horny parts.
This is the one
like
with
this.
the giant matte painting that I was talking about.
Yeah, I love the matte painting.
And action.
Can you turn off that background music?
Keep rolling from the top.
I haven't noticed. I mean, I'm sure I could go in the options and just like, turn it all the way down, but it seems like it's supposed to kind of permeate
I was
everything.
starting to fear you would not
I guess
come.
so. Sometimes it's a little distracting.
Have the key?
I didn't notice it as much until I'm watching this.
Yeah,
Like-
same. I didn't when I was playing it. It really didn't jump out at me. But here it
No,
is.
yeah, same with me.
Stop your mewling, child. We are taking you into the depths of the earth. Surrounded by the corpses of our order, there shall you rot, lest you further offend our edicts.
I am afraid and pain. No
Here's your
soul
blaspheming.
is as I beg you to show mercy.
I have run into a couple of audio bugs in the game where like the dialogue track won't play. I have to just rewind the scene and the dialogue track will play. Like the
Have more guile,
so I wonder if
sister.
that music is always on normally because I really don't remember.
Yeah.
It's always been on for me.
Idol.
Okay, I remember during Fast
The very
Forward.
man I hoped to impress with the strictness of my discipline.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think it was playing during dialogue for me either.
Ambrosio is to sin before God.
It was definitely playing for me, at least during
Okay.
some other
Follow the
scenes. So maybe
rules
it's
to
just
that.
goes in and out. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
In
remember.
with her.
No, please. Have mercy. mercy! Please have mercy! No!
Who is this Agnes? How do you know her?
A nun who I discovered had a lover out of wedlock. She begged me to conceal her crime, but I exposed her to the prioress. It was some righteousness. I now see that my behavior was too severe. I must request an audience with the Domina and ask her to mitigate her punishment towards this poor girl.
No. Such a sudden change of heart may create suspicion. It will be better for you to continue as you have done. Show an outward severity for the sins of others to better conceal your own. Leave this nun to her fate. She has failed to conceal her actions and is not worthy of love's pleasures. They return. Now I must act.
Oh, you're acting all right.
The key. I will descend alone. Wait here. If anyone approaches, warn me with your voice, but dare not follow. It would cost you your life.
And cut. Bridget.
Try clicking on that mausoleum in there. I want to see if you can get the bird one.
Like here?
Yeah. If you got a match cut to the same scene. Okay, you don't. All right, I don't know where this is.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of a couple other good ones here before we move on to something else. Ones that won't give away too much.
Tang in the Discord chat says, "Do we know if the entire film is in this? Could you watch all three from start to end?" You know, I've been trying to hunt down missing takes and scenes, and so I'm not 100% sure. Maybe somebody who has collected all the clips knows, but I've gotten quite a bit, but I don't assume you got a 2-hour movie, you know, or 6 hours worth of film. I'm not sure. I've been definitely tried to fill in enough where I can get the entire plot, but there are some takes I really want to see that I haven't gotten.
Also, in the backstory, at least one of these movies was never actually finished. So,
yeah,
but they're shot out of order. So you do get a couple of there are some. I don't know if I've seen this one.
How's it been working with Robert Jones? I imagine you're the envy of all your girlfriends.
Robert has been wonderful. He's given me a lot of advice, and well, obviously he has a lot of experience.
This is like while they're filming Ambrosio.
No, we're just trying to keep up.
I think I've realized there's more of me in the character, or perhaps there's more of the character in me. I think as a young woman, you are expected to behave in a certain way, and there are cinematic types that are actually quite freeing. And here, the most powerful character, the freest character, is mine. It's liberating to wield that kind of power.
I understand.
Guy has a real Jared Leto thing going on, and I mean that in a derogatory sense.
Well, I think those scenes are there for a reason. You know, it's a part of the plot that feels important. It's not gratuitous. I think the way
I enjoy them. I think more people should try it, take their clothes off on camera.
How about you, Sophia?
Oh, well, I'm a good Catholic girl.
Making a movie is about capturing the light that bounces off your skin and recording it on film and then releasing it to the audience in the theaters. When you're sat in the theater,
you heard the lady. Porno.
Your eye, it's part of this chemical chain that reaches
back to and
Whoops. Sorry, I was me hitting the stick.
I think in that way, if we'd make movies that show more of the body, it could be a powerful magic.
You make it sound indecent.
And do you hope to do more acting after this? Have you got a taste for it, Marissa?
Oh, I very much hope so.
All right, I am going to show one here that is technically a sex scene, but there's no nudity in it. And the reason I'm going to show it is because there is a mechanic here that I discovered, and I can show it here without giving away anything that I think is, like, vital in any way, shape, or form.
Possible spoilers, but again, if you're worried about total spoilers, then stop
But the thing
watching
is,
this.
I think this is kind of an important thing, so I'm just going to show this bit, and then I'm going to play this, because, again, it doesn't show anything that is, like, plot critical, but it shows a mechanic, so I'm going to do it. Let's get sexy.
Scene 20B, take 1.
I kind of also just like this scene.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Action.
Oh wait, this isn't the scene I thought. Okay, this is a different one.
You can't talk now. So hold up one hand for no, two for yes. Got that? It's gonna take a little while to dry. Shall we have some fun while we wait?
So it's a breathing tube, not a cigarette.
Mm-hmm.
To understand
It sure looks
me
like one, though.
means
And there's
to know
enough
what
people
it feels
smoking
like
in
to
this game that I was like,
yourself over
what
to
is
another
that?
person. Are you ready?
I'm going to give you plenty of warning before I do the thing. So, again, in the next couple of minutes here, if you don't want to know anything about this, maybe just, mute and look away for about, let's say, 2 to 3 minutes. Spoiler, sex.
Minsky sex.
Mm-hmm. Los Sexorcisto.
It can be quite freeing to give yourself over to another person. Whether you live or die is in their hands. That takes a weight off.
Breath play.
Breathing is a reflex action. We're never conscious of how close we are to just dropping dead and dying until we have to think about it. Art is about being aware of our mortality and then transcending it. You're obsessed with dead bodies. You spend all day with them. You're obsessed with the finality of death, but art is about looking beyond it. We know that death is just a transformation from one state to another. You're about to shoot a handful of your souls.
Oh boy, is he.
Though it won't amount to much.
This is the 70s, this one?
Yeah, this is supposed to be like early 70s.
Well, when you die, when you give yourself to another individual, you do die. As an individual, you give yourself to them. You become part of the work, part of their work, and...
Okay. Controller's vibrating here.
Oh, is it?
Because the sex is so good. Okay, I'm about to show this now. So again, if you want to turn away, now is your chance to do it.
What have you done, Navarro?
With the heart of the work.
What happened there?
What have you done?
All I'll say is I hit rewind on the footage while it was vibrating.
Your controller is just very horny.
Yes. May have noticed some stuff happen to the footage there. That's all I'm going to say. Just, be mindful of what the controller is doing, the sounds you hear. There are things to look for. That's all. That is about, I think, the least spoilery one of those I have found so far, so...
I'm gonna say, I played a lot of this game.
That was intense.
So far, I've seen like 3 scenes I have not seen.
There you go. There's a lot of scenes in this game, is the thing.
And I've gotten credits already, and, I've, made it through a big chunk of it.
Yeah, so
I mentioned it on the podcast at the top of the game. They show you what I assume has to be every clip in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a giant video wall like this, but it just goes and goes and goes. And then once you pick a clip and jump into it, they all go away, and you have to re-unveil them one by one.
This game seems like a lot of work.
A lot of footage in here.
And this game is like $20, right?
Yes, it is.
And it's also
apparently there's
Game
over
Pass.
200 scenes in the game.
Lots of scenes.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess I have somewhere around 50-ish of them.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't want to show anything else that's like real spoilery here. I'm just trying to think if there's any like good, like a good goofy one to end on. Oh, this is a fun one. We'll end with the fake Andy Warhol artists.
Rehearsal on scene 6. The warehouse, large studio space full of art and young people. The sofa in the middle of an open space, lounging on Holly Honey, Bill Ganner, and Lottie Hole.
Lottie Hole. Come on. Come on.
You want Franny's alibi to check out.
What are you doing?
You let your guard down because more people like you.
Oh, you know.
Detective Goodman.
Holly Honey.
Franny said you'd be coming.
Would you be happy
I'll just say
to
for my
answer a few
part,
questions?
I did not love telling lies. I did like her story a lot, as batshit as that plot got. I thought it was a really interesting novel way of, laying out a mystery. This one is scratching that itch for me more than telling lies
Well, I'm
did.
not most cops.
Still trying to decide where I fall on this one. I have some more to play of it.
Mm-hmm.
Where I'm at, I think the mechanic is getting a little cumbersome.
Stuck his stick in my ass.
But like, I appreciate what's happening here.
Yeah.
Of deviance?
Tommy Crypt is saying, this is not how people talk. Well, it's not really supposed to be. This is rehearsal for a kind of cheesy murder mystery movie that they're doing. And I'm going to say it's not meant to be a well-written movie.
It's also a very artsy murder mystery.
Yeah.
Like, intentionally.
Yes.
Hate cops.
Okay. So Franny was here Wednesday night?
Oh, yes. We had ourselves a big party.
Oh, the whole night? What time did she leave?
She stayed here. On this very sofa.
Rice Defer says that they finished this game last night and genuinely can't decide if they like it or hate it.
That's kind of how I felt. Not hate it, or like, I'm still like, trying to figure out my feelings on it.
Yeah. See, that excites me, because I would love to have complicated feelings about a game for once, instead of just being like, yeah, that was fun, or, didn't like it.
I mean, when I was done playing it, I felt uncomfortable. And I think I think it's supposed to, so maybe that's effective that way.
Well, what is it you're looking for?
Oh, thank goodness, the most uncomfortable.
But I still have a ton of questions about it.
Oh, this is definitely a game I'm going to read a lot about when I'm done. I know that. All right, should we wrap it there? Move on to something else?
Yeah.
'Cause I don't want to give away too much more here.
Poor Ambrosio. Wait, how about that one where he's laying on the bed? Is that too spoilery? The one where he's staring at the camera? Because there's some good special effects stuff. One Up.
I like that one that you've got highlighted. The one you've got highlighted there is a fun.
This one?
That one. But either one's fine.
Is the one that's One Up, is it the one where they tried to match the book?
Yes, it is.
That's kind of dumb, but it's kind of long. What's the one underneath? I don't remember the one underneath it.
This is, it's more of those characters. It's like them introducing themselves to the camera.
Yeah, that's a fun one too.
I want something a little different if we can. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like anything else I show at this point is probably going to be a little too spoilery in general. So
yeah, we can switch over.
Let's switch over.
Is it turtle time?
Oh, you know what? Actually, here's a really goofy one. I like this one because it's just like.
Oh, what?
Hey, what if
Take 3.
What if there was a fake motion capture scene?
Oh man, I haven't seen this one yet.
Raphael, what the fuck with this suit?
I told you that hair and makeup would be less grueling for the shoot.
No photos of me in this thing, ever. Okay, closed set, no camera.
And to be clear, this is a scene in the movie where the character is doing
Plus, I thought the whole thing with the computer
a motion capture suit. It is not
well, no one moves.
a behind the scenes of her doing motion capture for the movie.
Right. Anything with a clapboard.
Yeah.
Hungover. I look like a mime fell in a ball pit.
Brought your coffee, but they said no liquids in the volume.
Shall we begin?
Please.
Okay. T-pose? Like this?
T-pose!
Cue the music.
Reset.
T-pose.
Let's take a look.
Wow, so lifelike.
I mean, it's not that bad.
Chat suggested cutting on the T-pose.
Find other T-poses.
That right there. That's you.
We'll let people discover what the T-pose does for themselves.
Major spoilers on the T-pose.
Mm-hmm.
Cut away all this. And inside your core being is what we are capturing. The real Maria.
Cut. Now you're going again. Peter, once she's in, keep your eyes on Maria, even when you're walking away.
And we'll wrap it there. But yeah, I'm very interested in this mystery and where it's going. I'm having a lot of fun piecing it together, though I'm going to have to go rewatch a bunch of footage and start rewinding it, I think.
All right. That is Immortality.
I'm going to stop sending now.
Sure. Really interesting.
Yeah, very interesting is how I would describe it.
Interesting. All right, I'm going to switch audio over here for you, Alex.
And are we doing Cowabunga?
I think we're going to do some Cowabunga time.
Talk about tonal shifts.
Cowabunga!
Cowabunga!
Whoa, bro! That's my Michelangelo. Doesn't matter if it's right.
It's a little bassy.
Okay, that's my Knuckles.
Okay. Like maybe more of a bebop or rocksteady.
Whoa, bro. Pizza time!
Mm-hmm. And this is going to be the thing that gets our stream pulled down, is having the song.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes, true. Lots of gratuitous nudity in this game as well.
Yeah, these turtles don't wear pants.
They're real nude dudes.
Raphael is nude, but Michael.
Yeah, that's the tagline. Raphael is cool, but yeah.
Nude.
Cool but nude.
Yes, cool but nude.
Where should we start in the layer? I feel like the layer is.
That's like the coolest stuff to me.
Look at this stuff.
The video games themselves are good too.
It's a scan so good you could touch it.
Still got that box in a basement somewhere, I believe.
Look at this scan. Look how high res.
These are high res scans,
dude. Yeah, like some of those press releases are like immaculate.
You could see the like press
the cardboard. Yeah. I'm going to say it right now. Box art was never better than it was in the 8 and 16-bit era.
I feel like these scans are so good you could probably identify whose box this is based on like the scuffing and these are really good.
Manuals also they've got the Japanese manuals and boxes for everything.
Garbage. Cowabunga!
Oh wow, there's a still from the movie poster of the
oh yeah,
the movie poster right there. That is from the live action movie.
God, I watched that movie not that long ago.
Weird. Just a weird thing to just slap on the box.
Can you do the
first movie still holds up pretty well.
I kind of want to see that. I watched the first like 10 minutes of it a while back. Like that little stinger, the music stinger throughout that first like 10 minutes is all the Foot Clan thugs are kind of menacing people. It's like genuinely kind of sinister.
Also, truly one of the greatest examples of a enclave of rowdy teens hanging out in a space where they are also doing crimes.
Yes. Wow, look at that. Oh, look at that turtle.
That's
smart.
Okay.
I'm going to say treatment on Radical Rescue juxtaposed with that art style. I don't know.
I'm going to say it right now. Leonardo looks kind of fucked up.
That's a little.
They kind of fucked him up.
There you go. That's better there.
Oh, what the fuck? They shot that movie in Wilmington, North Carolina? Really?
Wait, really?
Weird. Oh, man.
I've never heard of Wellington standing in for New York before. Yeah, they look fucked up too. These turtles look fucked up.
Turtle art is just all over the place.
It is.
I think I'm a fan of like all. I don't know the chronology. Was it all red bandanas first?
Oh, the comics. There were no colors in the comic. Like I think they pretty much looked identical in the comics.
Well, it's like how they did with real Ghostbusters. You know, like they gave every each of the Ghostbusters a different colored uniform because it's easier to sell toys that way.
Right. Yeah. The different colored masks and stuff only came in when they became like mainstream cartoon characters.
I thought it was more like this. Or no, I'm sorry. All red. Were they not red? Was it black and white? The original comic?
Well, yeah, the comics were black and white is the thing.
I think at least for a while the comics were just
the early
black and
ones.
white.
Look at this. Look at this.
I remember that manual. I remember those illustrations.
Look at this. Look at this turtle.
Yep, that is.
Ah.
Guy looks like he's yelling out the window because someone won't turn off their car alarm. I'm trying to freaking sleep up here.
So many manuals.
Yeah, some of the other images of stuff they've got in here are crazy, like the magazine ads and design docs and
Digital Eclipse, like their obsessive attention toward
awesome.
detail really pays dividends.
Yeah, I mean that's what they brought Chris Kohler in to do, was to be a curator for stuff like this. Largely.
God, that April outfit.
Yep.
Wigs.
Classic.
All right, look, we're just going to get a jumpsuit from JCPenney. We're going to dye it yellow. It'll be fine.
Oh, what? Chat says it's got the arcade operator manuals.
I don't know if I've seen those. These are, I'm in promotions here. Where would that be? Is that in the manuals?
Probably back under manuals, the first one.
Yeah, I would think so.
Sorry, there's a lot to go through here.
Yeah, so how many games are in here? It's like, what, 13?
Oh, wow.
Or more than that.
Oh, yes. Awesome.
Ha!
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Block diagram of the arcade cabinet.
Oh, my lord.
Wiring harness. Yes.
Wow.
I've got one of these. I bought a Mortal Kombat 2 board years ago, and it came with the operating manual for that and the marquee art.
This is great. I have this for my joust machine, and it looks just like this.
You had to call in Jerry, the arcade mechanic, come in and service your machines, or you know.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you were,
I used to play poker
operator,
regularly with a guy who did that for a living.
If you were an operator worth your salt, you could do it yourself.
Who signed off on this last?
There's this dude Ken who had a mullet, was about 6'5" and incredibly skinny, and a giant mustache. And he was exactly the kind of dude you would think repaired arcade machines for a living.
That's wild.
Good stuff. I know I've said it before. I loved that arcade machine so much that I tracked down like how much it would cost to buy one back in the day. Not that I had any hope of doing so. I just wanted to know. It was like $2,000 and $1990 to get one of those cabinets back then.
I bet the number of working ones out there is pretty low these days.
Is this for a conversion? No, it's They must have sold conversion kits, because this... Huh.
I saw a conversion get done one time. One of the local arcades, I got there to play MK2 first thing in the morning, the day that they got the conversion kit for MK3.
Oh, you saw them switch it over?
And I literally proceeded to hang out in that arcade for about 8 hours.
Should I call this number?
No.
While they converted that machine to MK3, so I could be the first one to. And they literally, the lady who put it together, literally like pulled me to the front when she was done. She was like, "He's been here all day. He gets to play this first."
That's amazing. Oh yeah, remove old graphics. That's great, man. Sorry, I spent all time in that thing. All day in that thing. Let's see. There's the ads and catalogs, which I think are very cool. These like original...
yes, straight up. straight up press releases with press contacts on them. This is the one I was talking about. Look at that. It's like, for a copy of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, please contact so-and-so.
So wild.
Jesus.
Remember this?
Vividly.
Man.
I assume the things they blacked out there are things they couldn't get the rights to show, right?
This could, or maybe
Could be a
that, or maybe
mock-up.
these are, yeah, these might be proofs from before they had all the final art.
Sure.
Because they have the name there.
Yeah,
But
it's
then
possible they
I
just
bet
didn't
like
have-
the box art might be a different license than just saying the name.
Could be. I don't know.
they might have just not had final art.
Yeah.
That stuff's so cool.
I think the design there. Hang on, go back real quick before you get into the comics. What are the design docs? I thought they were also in here. Maybe they're later.
Behind the scenes?
Oh, yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Check out this is the thing I was talking about. Like, I don't know if
God.
this is. Yeah, this is the like color thing, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Like the swatches.
The stuff is
From
kind of
Mirage
amazing.
Licensing. Wait, who's that like Minotaur looking?
This guy?
No, before that.
Oops. This guy?
Round Chuck?
I think he's a later.
Huh.
Yeah.
I want to say he's later.
Oh. It seems those may have been other games in those catalogs. Like other people's games. Oh, they have translations?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I didn't see these.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, dude, the
It really
design
is.
doc stuff. The design doc ones are the ones that like you literally cannot. Like you might have old magazines in your basement. Nobody has these.
So cool.
Now everybody has these. I'm glad there are some people out there at least doing this work. It's
Like,
so
I
easy for this shit to just completely disappear.
Like the distance here for the weapons. It's like very good. Regarding life. Nah, that's what I come for.
Mm-hmm. The marginalia.
Oh wait, hang on, go back. Was that a
This
mock-up
one?
of the status screen before that on graph paper?
Oh yeah.
That's pretty good.
I am ready to go to the exciting zone, April. Take me there.
Yeah. Man. I'll let people go through all this. I'm not going to go through all of it, but it's all very good. I mean, there's also games in here.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. There's also some games we could play, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I was hoping there might be a featurette in this, like interviews and some actual video of some behind the scenes stuff. But there's so much other stuff in here. It's hard to knock it.
There it is.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody heard this. And everybody heard that.
Turtles in Time. I think I rented Turtles in Time for the SNES like once.
Okay.
That was it.
The one I had never played was I guess what is technically the third one of those lineage of games, which is the one they put out only on the Genesis.
Yeah, Hyperstone Heist. I barely knew that existed.
So I played some of that. It's not bad.
Man.
There it is. Yes.
This game.
I listen to the soundtrack on a somewhat regular basis. Not gonna lie.
It's not bad.
This game's music is genuinely very good.
Like,
Fuck
one thing
that
Konami
sound.
did very well in this era was music.
It's the first stage of Bayou Billy music goes as hard as it is possible to go on this sound hardware. You're not wrong.
It's too much stuff. Is there too much stuff?
awesome.
Could there be too much
Not
stuff?
possible.
I mean, go to search. I mean, look, 3,741 items of material in here.
There were 55 Triceraton items. That's how you know they have done the work.
Oh, man. All right. Should we go look at a game? Here are some of the...
Sure.
Oh, are they per game? I think they're per game.
Yeah, because you should show like some of the enhancements they call them.
I will say I've heard the online is a little dicey in this for the games that have it. But the actual like play, just like straight up emulation, single player, is good.
Some playable bosses on that one. Some of
Yeah.
these have more quote unquote enhancements than others.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like see this. This is the one with fancy jump kicks. What is this? The NES arcade game? Yeah. See, look at this. You can do jump kicks earlier in the jump and have more air control. Like that's ridiculous.
It's great that
We
they also
literally-
let you turn it on and off.
Literally went in there and messed with the core mechanics of some of the stuff.
Yeah. I'm going to go into my
That
favorite
Blizzard,
of them.
that Blizzard arcade collection was also done by Digital Eclipse. That one's got a similar level of just obsessive attention to detail as this. I believe they also did that Aladdin Lion King combo pack, which also is like this thing. I mean, just like all the old game collections they're putting out are just like so incredible.
Donatello, always. Always Donatello.
What the what? What is this song?
We don't like Ninja Turtles?
I've never heard this. Holy shit. I don't know how I feel about this.
It kicks ass is how you feel.
I don't know if I've ever seen a Turtles in Time cabinet before, so I don't think I've ever heard that.
I believe that song is from, I'm getting from chat here, the Coming Out of Their Shells tour.
Okay.
Which I think I might have gone to.
Hey, Krang, bring that statue back, you bearded beanbag.
Big Apple. This game rocks.
See, so I'm having the same experience with this that you were having with the Last of Us remake. Or maybe in the opposite direction.
Did it feel did
Because
it look different?
Yes, in my mind, like these characters are like 3 times bigger than this.
Right. And you can make
it
the
just
screen
looked-
a little bigger without stretching it, but like...
Like in my mind, that first arcade game is still the coolest looking game I've ever seen.
It's a great looking game.
And then I see it and I'm like, oh, it's okay. Okay, this is what
So
it
yeah,
actually
that just
looks like,
zooms
sure.
in without stretching. You can widescreen it, but you're a monster if you do that.
Yeah, they've got some kind of CRT and
Nope, monstrous.
Who would do it?
filters
Who would do it?
as well.
This is garbage. I don't do this.
Dude, those pixels
You
are
are beating
huge.
my childhood to death every second you remain on that widescreen.
I wish they showed you a little more transparently what's happening here.
Mhm.
It's like not terrible.
Look,
That's
zoom in is
LCD.
fine as long as it's the right aspect ratio.
Let's see what the other ones are.
Oh, that's TV filter. Weird.
Nope, don't like it.
Yeah, it didn't look great. I've never loved screen filter stuff. Oh.
TV one wasn't bad.
I'm less tolerant of raw pixels as I don't know.
Some
The more
devices do the filters better than others. I find that more often not it looks bad.
Yeah, like bad filters are bad, but the thing I get hung up on is that these games were authored to look a certain way. And you're not getting them that way. Like you're losing a lot of like implied detail.
But even this isn't giving you that kind of.
No, this
blended
is not
pixels.
really either. Like the only like truly amazing stuff I've seen is some of the accelerated shaders that are getting done on like some of the PC emulators now, like straight up GPU shaders. Some of the scanline and masking stuff on the Mister is also quite good. Anybody follow that CRT account on Twitter? That just posts.
I don't.
Nothing. They just do nothing but post side by sides of like with the raw pixels on an LCD versus like shots off of like a PVM and other nice high quality CRTs.
Yeah, I've seen some of the like comparison stuff they put out.
It's actually a good way to see what I'm talking about. You know, it's like like with the blur, the natural blur of a CRT, you can see some like shading and gradients and stuff that an extra detail that are not brought out with just the kind of ugly jagged pixels.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I will say the RetroArch, the CRT filters, I feel like actually look pretty good.
Those are the ones I'm talking about. Those are actual shaders.
The RetroArch is a device I do not regret buying whatsoever.
Damn Baxter.
You mean the Retro Tink?
Oh, sorry, the Retro Tank. Yeah.
Yes. That thing has an FPGA in it. So yeah, that thing has like, I don't have one, but people speak extremely highly of everything that thing does.
It's very good and very adjustable.
He's working on a 4K model. I don't know how far off that is.
You know, most of the games I'd be playing on that thing, I think would just, I don't know that I need them in 4K, but I appreciate that the work is being done.
Damn it, Baxter.
Look, the area enemies are always the biggest pain in the ass.
Like, you need to do your due diligence. Play the NES Classic.
Oh, man.
Yeah, play the same 5 seconds everyone else plays before they turn it off.
Seriously.
Well, hey, it's a good chance to show off the watch feature here.
Oh, yeah. All right. I just wanted to get my victory music.
Alley Cat Blues. Let's kick shell.
All right.
He said cool off. We're good.
Cool off.
I still can't believe they made a version of Tournament Fighters for the
monster.
NES.
So you can change the region if you want. So Japan. Yeah. If you wanted to play Legend of the Extreme Ninja Turtles.
Mm-hmm.
So you can hit watch. Let's see what's the enhancements here. All right. Hit watch.
I hated this game so much.
You can fast forward. Because it's a ridiculous game.
Before any of you say it's because you're bad at it, you're right.
Here we go. I'm going to beat the game.
Now we got a kill screen coming up.
Half hour.
Wow, this is really.
It's an NES game, dude.
I wonder. I need to ask. Actually, I believe I should be speaking with Drew in the near future. I'm going to ask him how they did these. I assume these are tool assisted and somebody didn't have to just do a perfect playthrough, but I don't know.
Oh, I'm killing it. Is there a way to go back to just watch it played? Have the computer take over? Oh, man. Shit! Leonardo's gone.
All right, who's up?
Don,
Next man up.
Let's go down.
Radar is not working, so I am lost.
Gosh. Oh, this game just plays as poorly as I remember. Some Castlevania music, Konami. Dang.
I saw someone say, and I don't have the confirmation on whether this is actually true or not, but at the time this came out, I think it may have been the best-selling third-party NES game ever. And
I totally believe
really
it.
sucks.
This was the hot cartoon and toy line at the time.
Oh, I want that pizza. I wonder if they put a select on here. Thanks, April. Thanks. You know, nobody's ever seen the end of this game.
No.
Shoots. This game is just hard as balls.
It is. The timing on it is just rough.
Oh, what are you supposed to do there?
Die.
Come on, you're ninja.
Oh my gosh.
Not a very good one.
Oh, I hated Raphael's attack in this game.
So
it's
little.
so annoying.
Bad. It doesn't even look cool.
No.
Like, it's bad enough that the range is so short, but like the way, I don't know. There's just something a little too loose about the way he's swinging that thing around.
It's totally rubbery. Like, it looks like you're just waving a rubber object.
There we go.
Rubber object. You can fill in the blanks.
Didn't have to be this way.
No.
Rewind feature.
Perhaps it goes this way.
Nothing. I can rewind my way out of here.
I was going to say, while you're playing this, my opportunity, I'm about to have a functional Mister again, so we might have to play some more old stuff at some point. Actually, the Mister's always been functional. It's the NAS that's been down, so I have no games.
Gotta have some games.
Gotta have games. Save
I installed
games.
second RAM right before the NAS died. I put my second RAM in, and then I've never really messed with that PlayStation core. We should probably play some
Never
PlayStation
been a better time.
games.
You know, I never played.
I played Tournament
This.
Fighters. Yeah, I played some of this when I booted this up. This was one of the ones I never tried before. It's not bad. I mean, it's using some assets from the earlier ones, but you know, it's a good one of these, I think.
Always done.
Always done.
Is this Genesis exclusive? Wait a
Yes, it
minute.
is.
Just the intro from Turtles in Time?
Oh, weird. Oh, look at these sprites. These
That's pretty good for a Genesis game.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Genesis had some good-looking games. Not that I would know, because I never. Oh, I had one, but it was not for very long. All I owned for it was Sonic and a Madden game.
Yeah, this seems like it would be a good one. I wonder if this sold well.
I feel like one of my great journeys one of these days is going to have to be going through the Genesis library because I just have so little experience with it. I had one friend who had a Genesis, and I played a decent number of games at his house, but, like, he's the one I bought the Genesis off of, used briefly, and then I resold it to someone else for more money.
Is that just a
Called
straight
business.
up, like... Is it like a Ghosts and Goblins devil in the background? Who is
Ray?
that?
I don't
Ray?
know. Ray must have been another late
Oh.
gamer. I don't know, Ray. Like a Manta Ray?
I think that's what he's supposed to be, yes.
Yeah. That's how it gets his. I had never played this.
Round one, fight!
Evil Leo. I don't remember this game being very good in any of its incarnations.
I don't know how this is thought of. I've never played it before.
I definitely
Is it
played the
just-
Super Nintendo one at some point.
Is it Street Fighter moves, I assume?
Probably.
Mortal Kombat.
Something... There, also, is that... that background art...
It's really disturbing.
I'm trying to place what... Some of that shit just looks like Red Falcon.
Yeah, totally. This is some Contra shit.
Some of that just straight up looks repurposed.
Damn, Clone Leo. Why are you so cheap?
I'm hearing from Nas86 in the chat that, according to sources, this may have ranked as one of the top 10 fighting games of all time, depending on some science. I'm not sure how that's possible.
I
but
don't know how that's possible, unless it was the
There's
first
something
one.
I don't know. There's something a little weird and sad about this because like beat 'em ups left behind this franchise. You know, like they stopped being the go-to thing.
Yeah,
beat 'em ups gave way to fighting games, and so Turtles had to just like scramble and put out a fighting game.
Right.
Yeah, it was
right.
it was the Super Nintendo Tournament Fighters that was the top 10 specifically. Yes.
Wow, different characters.
Yeah, I wonder if any of these are created for this.
I think the Super Nintendo version is the one that's supposed to be like better. But I'll say it again. That's the only one I ever played, and I don't remember it being that great.
I mean, I'm sure there are people playing Evo cash matches with this game every year, right?
There are people playing Evo cash matches for literally anything.
Let's do it.
I'm a big beat 'em up player and a big beat 'em up fan, so yes, I do kind of miss that. This era, I mourn this era where the beat 'em up fell out of fashion.
Round one.
I'm glad they're kind of back.
Yeah, it's wild that we got that new Turtles beat 'em up and this in the space of like what 3 months,
and that new Streets of Rage a couple of years ago, which was pretty good.
This feels better.
Okay. I mean, it moves better than that other version, that's for sure.
Those feel like super moves.
Ah, yes, and River City Girls 1 and 2. They should make a new Final Fight. That's all I'm saying. Remember how excited I got when they started showing that open world part of Street Fighter 6? And I was like, oh, are they making a new Final Fight? Holy shit!
Yeah.
Then they didn't.
You were pretty excited. I wonder if they put in strategy guide. Okay, I was gonna say
Spring Break My Heart says they are according to a leak. I won't believe it until I see it. Somewhere in the Capcom lab, there is always someone just staring at a whiteboard that says Mike Hagar President ? And trying to figure out how to make that work. But until I see a game, I won't believe it.
All right, fire. Okay, I've done all these. Too late. I did everyone. It's Street Fighter. Yep, charge moves. Okay. Come on, win one. No!
Time up. That's fighting games.
Round two. Fight.
Did you guys play this at all?
No, I've never played Tournament Fighters.
I've only played this version, the Super Nintendo version, but I've not played it in this collection yet. I rented it a couple of times back in the day.
Somebody in the chat asking us to play Final Fight Streetwise.
Oh, is that like the PS2 one?
Yes, I was about to say, you're the one with Retro Tink. I think it might be time to hit eBay.
Oh, man, I remember that game being really bad, but you're probably right. I should grab a copy of that.
Oh, it looks terrible.
I remember being
Doesn't
really
look like
bad.
Final Fight. It just looks generic.
Yeah, it looked. I remember it being total garbage.
Oh, I guess it's also on original Xbox.
Man, you guys are hard to cheese. How do you do a super?
Let's see, how much would I have to pay to get a copy of Final Fight Streetwise in 2022? Fuck off.
How much?
If I want to buy a new copy from Amazon, it's $130. Eat my ass.
Right, here's a brand new copy on eBay for $200.
Ooh.
Eat my ass.
That's
you could. Maybe it's time to get into the wild world of hardware modding. What if you just could load PS2 games off of a hard drive? Or over the network even?
Jesus Christ. How is that possible?
Were they in short supply?
I mean, I don't know that game sold very well, so maybe there just aren't that many copies out there. Here's the cheapest pre-owned one I can find right now is about $48.
Is it confirmed working?
Okay, here's one for 34. That's PAL though, so I can't use that.
Old game prices have just gotten insane in the last few years.
Yeah, they got really stupid. But you know, like when I bought that copy of what was it, the Spy Hunter game, I don't think I paid more than like $20 for that.
This is a good game.
Oh, is this Fall of the Foot Clan? Yes, I had this. This was one of the 5 or 6 Game Boy games I had. Yep. I always used
I
them.
never played any of these Game Boy games.
This one's all right.
Yeah. Not a lot to it, but yes.
Meh. Meh. Meh.
I like the sound design. Man, Game Boy sounds of all kinds are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Everything about the way the original Game Boy sounds is great.
All right, one more. Boom, 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 boom.
Chat was liking this one. That warms my heart.
Yeah, that one. I didn't play this one, but
Yeah, I didn't play 2 or 3 on the Game Boy.
I played the first one a lot. They're all the same turtle.
Or are they?
Or are they? Wow, you really had to stretch for that one. Oh, that's just. Uh-huh.
It's called martial arts, Vinny. He's doing it.
He's definitely doing it. Wow, this is Donatello has ceased to give a fuck.
What are you talking about, man?
Dead.
He is. That is the nicest posture I have ever seen a turtle have.
Dead.
I think Fall of the Foot Clan might be better than this.
Dead. I'm sorry, you're dead. How do you jump? Oh, dead. Oh, what is that?
Oh, that jump. Oh, the torso doesn't move at all.
Oh, shit. Wait, I hit the wrong button.
It's pizza time.
Okay. Oh, the pause screen takes you to pizza time?
Pause screen takes you to pizza time, yes.
I mean, why else would one pause?
Pizza time!
I wanted to get a pause on this. Man. Wow.
Hey, man. Not a lot of memory to work with on this thing.
No.
You sprites this big.
They did what they could. It's just efficient. Make your
Yes,
slide
that's how
and
I
your
would
jump
describe
pick
this
the same
game.
sprite.
Economical.
That guy had pizza. Not even gonna
Sure
give
did.
me not gonna give me a pizza time on that one. New York, Big Apple, 3 a.m.
Bullet ninjas that are also robots and turtles.
What is this? The whole game?
It's probably a lot of it.
No. Do I fall down? Do I get eyeballs? Okay, at least okay. Yep. Great. It's a Ninja Turtles game. Any other moves? That's probably it, huh? Okay, let it slide.
Yeah, this game needs a strategy guide.
Hey, why wasn't this in the manual? It's true. Man, strategy guides used to be pretty awesome.
Oh, I think this is Eclipse. This is Digital Eclipse.
Yeah,
doing one.
yes. These are.
Look at these. This is great.
Digital Eclipse, but yeah.
Wait, they're done in the style of Bad Strategy.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. Well, these are made for this game.
Fucking great. Oh, that's
Not today, grenade.
That's fucking great.
Man, I bet writing stuff like that must be so much fun.
You think they just pour over their Nintendo powers?
Probably.
Yeah, why wasn't this pretty great? Except for that.
And We have really run the gamut on some game types today.
You know, kind of. Then again, at the end, it's all just about having fun. Actually, I'm not sure about Immortality.
Yeah, Immortality might not be about having fun.
Or about Last of Us. You know, it's all about connections, authorial intent. This is what, is it Don Eastman? Is that his name? The Turtles guy? Eastman?
Which
Eastman,
one?
Eastman and Laird?
There's two guys, right?
Eastman and Laird are the two dudes. It was Peter, Peter Laird and Kevin Eastman, I believe.
Kevin Eastman, okay. This is what they wanted.
That's right.
When they put ink to page, this is what they were thinking of.
I've said it several times, but the Ninja Turtles episode of The Toys That Made Us on Netflix is only like half about the toys. It's really just about the whole story of those dudes creating this thing and getting filthy rich and all the stuff that happened around that. It's very worth watching.
Were there bad deals?
For one of them, I think Laird is the one who made out like a bandit, and I think Eastman. One of them tapped out. One of them, something happened. One of them tapped out early, and the other guy ended up with all the rights, and he's the one that made the shitload of money.
Now Nickelodeon owns it all.
Yes, he's the one who sold it to Nickelodeon.
Laird is the one who bailed.
Oh, okay.
Who's the one that has the great photo?
That's Laird. I think. Hang on, let me make sure.
Yeah, what is the creeper photo?
Wait, that's Eastman.
I only know that guy as Guy, who is the creepy Turtles guy.
Yeah, seriously.
No, Eastman is the one who bailed. He's the creepy photo guy.
All right.
He's
still got all the merch.
I mean, I'm sure he did quite well for himself before he got out.
Yeah.
It's not going to work out for me.
Yes, Freaky Chic is correct. Laird bought a tank.
As one does. Him and Master P.
You got Ninja Turtles money.
Buy a tank.
You want
Why
a
not?
tank. You can buy a
You
tank.
either have Ninja Turtles money or you are a no-limit soldier. That's how you get a tank.
All right, that's good
what?
for me, I think.
This is hip-hop right here.
How did I just end up on Getty Images, 229 Kevin Eastman photos and premium high-res pictures?
Ooh.
Boy, I think I've just found the world's preeminent archive of Kevin Eastman photos.
Meanwhile, Vinny has become a remix artist.
That's me. I want my pizza time. It's hard to get it.
Pizza time.
All right.
Pizza time. I'm.
Anything else people want to see? Or otherwise, I think, wow, look at that.
I've heard the third one of these Game Boy games is a Metroidvania.
All right, let's look at
What?
it.
Oh, I might have to take a look at that later.
Password?
Okay.
Yeah, that's how you know it's a
seems right.
Metroidvania. All right.
Didn't let me pick a turtle? What kind of game is this? Oh, I gotta save
You have
him.
to help them. Illegal turtles!
I guess so. All right, this seems all right. Got a high jump there. So do you get upgrades for abilities?
I guess there's a map in here somewhere.
I haven't figured out what they map as a select button. I can look at the controls here. Oh, okay, it's the trackpad. Look at that.
Wow.
That's like a map. It's more of a crossword puzzle, but sure.
Yes. Yes, exactly. What's a 12-letter word for awesome? Cowabunga! I don't know if it's 12 letters.
That's 9 letters, but yeah,
Okay,
sure.
Thank you. All right. We have looked
wrap it
at,
up?
yes, The Last of Us Part 1, Immortality, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Collection Cowabunga Edition. Is that right?
Cowabunga Collection.
Cowabunga Collection.
Collection.
Alliteration.
I think it's a good collection.
It is. I hope they fix the
Yeah,
online.
This thing's just as good as their other stuff from the looks of things.
Wow.
But the actual emulation seems really solid, and the archival material, as always, is mwah.
Should I try and jump into one of these, see what's going on?
I leave that to your jurisdiction.
Let's jump in.
Elroy Jetson 93. I'm really trying to figure out what's going on with that one.
Oh, man.
Hmm.
Because everybody's playing Children.
Not all the games have online. It's just a handful of them.
That's 2 people in that one, right?
Yes.
All right, let's try this one. All right, well.
There you go.
Listen, these games were never meant to be played online.
No. The internet was never meant to do this.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us. We are not going to be streaming next week, but we will be streaming. This music's kind of loud. Streaming tomorrow with the Patron's Choice. We have an update what's going on in the polls. Do we know? What?
I'm pretty sure I can guess.
From the polling place over on Patreon, we've got an update with Brad Shoemaker. What is in the lead?
I cannot imagine it has changed.
It had a pretty good lead as of this morning.
Nope. As a matter of fact, the mortuary assistant has surged even further ahead.
We are gonna. Sounds like we're gonna be playing Mortuary Assistant, a game I wanted to check out for a while now, and I've found a place to do it. So come check it out tomorrow. I don't know. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's good. We'll be streaming around 1 Eastern. Ramblecast, Watchcast, Podcast, all the casts up now. And what did we do on Monday? Gosh.
We did more Gabriel Knight. That's what we
Gabriel
did.
Knight on Monday. That's right. That's right. Thanks, everybody, for supporting us. You can go over to patreon.com/Nextlander for more details on everything. Find a tier.cam.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those new domains you got. That's what do I know about the internet? See you, everybody. Bye.
Bye.